of Northeast Streaming Sports.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on,
another
everybody?
Monday. It's been a minute, and we're back talking, and we're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Roku TV as part of the Northeast Streaming Sports Network. What's up, guys?
What's going on?
on? Preseason week, another game under the belt. It's only preseason, but I'm going to take it. I don't care.
I agree. I only got to watch like a few minutes of the game. I didn't go to the game. I had something else that was that I was involved in this weekend. However, I am going to practice tomorrow, so
There you go.
It'll be a little interesting, seeing how everything looks up real close and personal. So I just got my itinerary, so I'm all excited.
Good deal. So did they give you VIP access or what?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that anything's VIP to me. It's just I'm not getting painted up either, so I'm not gonna go try to be something at their practice. I don't want to take away any of the what I'm there to do. I want to watch the practice. I want to see what's going on. I don't need to be. I'll wear an Eagles jersey. I'll wear my hat and stuff like that and be fine.
So you're going as a fan and not Philly sports guy.
Yeah, I think that going as the Philly sports guy changes things, and I'm not trying to do that at a practice. That this isn't something that they offer to everybody. I mean, I've seen a lot of my friends have gone to these practices, so it's not anything. There he is.
There he is.
Now we're all out of place.
Look at that face.
Never a dull moment. Look at us now. Now we're cooking with gas.
Powers combined.
This last half an hour has been one big.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it.
That makes it fun.
Jamie was watching me scarf down Panda Express a few minutes ago. So you know what that means, fellas. The countdown has begun.
Yeah, I know. So you're big on that. He's got it all worked out. But anyways, what I was saying is that like I don't, the practices are only to a few hundred people. So the fact that I'm even getting invited in the first place is just great. that I get to do this, and it was because I was part of doing some stuff for charity and what have you. It makes that a little bit easier when you give them a check, because I'm not a season ticket holder, and
Right.
I don't want to. I don't. You said it's. Do I want to? Am I trying to bring attention to myself at their practice? Because that's how it would be looked at as. At least that's how I think.
The funny thing is for me, because I don't. I think I'm the only one that don't wear makeup in this group.
No, True doesn't wear makeup.
Oh, True, you don't wear makeup?
Nope.
Oh, you're just naturally beautiful, right? That's your real eyelashes, right?
Yeah. So one takeaway I had from this weekend was the New York Jets Philly game on that sideline hit. So I was going to see, that's one of the things you got to try and find out what was going on with the players when that occurred. I mean, that was I saw everybody up in arms, which they should be, being that it's a preseason game, but the hit that he took on the sideline, I know it wasn't much, but the mentality, you can see the mentality switch right there. That's something you might want to find out while you're there at practice to try and see what the Eagles were feeling right then and there.
Got ya. No, I could believe that. I mean, because they jumped. They jumped to that. Like, I mean, my man, that Jordan Mailata is like a monster, and when he's got, it's like, it's funny. I'm using this reference, but we're using the reference from The Blind Side. When she goes out there and she pulls this guy over and says, "You got to protect this guy. Now, are you going to protect the family?" And they go, "Yeah," you know what I mean? And that's the end of that. Now nobody touches him again. That's Jordan Mailata a little bit. You know what I mean? He went right over there. He didn't want to see no parts of that. Like, he was ready to go to war. It wasn't a bad hit. I mean, no, hold on. Let me scratch that. It was a fast hit, and it was late. And that's the guy who's trying to make a name for himself, and he did it, whatever. It wasn't a real hard hit. It was just off balance, which is what made that all happen that way. So I understand that in the process of this, it looked much worse than it was.
Yeah. Well, we had the same thing. We had the same thing occur during the cross practice with the Broncos before, we suited up on Saturday. And it was their linebacker who, Zeke's coming through the hole and he gets him from the sideline, puts him on the ground. And, of course, everybody starts to tussle. Of course, Zeke runs up like a true professional, gets up, runs to the sideline, shakes it off like nothing occurred. But from that point on, you can see the mentality switch in both sides of the offense and the defense from just, that type of contact, letting you know that, hey, football is back.
Well, yes. I mean, let's be fair, though. I played football in high school and middle school. I mean, have you guys done the same?
Yes, I played.
True. Did you play high school football?
Yeah.
Porkline, you?
Freshman year, that was it.
Okay, hey, that's still high school football. So, what I'm trying to get at is when you get that first hit of the game, you damn right your mindset's going to change.
Yeah.
Because now it's time to turn it on. Like, okay, it's a matter of fact, I remember Garcia. What was his first name? He was the quarterback for the 49ers. Yeah, Jeff Garcia. You'll see
and
where
the
he's
Eagles.
And the Eagles and the Browns and Tampa. I mean, we beat him in the playoffs in 07.
Oh, well, he just had a great Christmas. He had a great Christmas gift to us.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Philadelphia. You remember that, Drew?
They even, they even have him mic'd up when he got hit, and he's like getting riled up because, when you get hit, it's time to play. Now you're awake. Now you're in game mode.
That's what I'm saying, to try and get some insight because, from season to season and the NFLPA, regulations, rules that are in effect with the contact and how many practices, there's really no contact. So that these games is what I'm alluding to and saying, hey, how did you feel when this happened, knowing that football season's back, taking the hit that you took?
So let me get this straight. This was a late hit. Was it with starters? I mean, this was in the first drive.
First drive.
Okay.
First drive.
Okay.
Yeah, Yeah, and if you go look at it, like I said, like Philly alluded to, is he's going down to the slide. He's on the sideline, but the player comes in and takes him, gives him a hit. And again, it wasn't that hard. It wasn't anything, but it's just letting you know football season's back.
Right. He got flagged for it. I mean, it was everything got done properly. However, the coach mouthed, you could read exactly what it was. There was no clue, clearer words spoken since mayor of Havertown.
Yeah.
For also because that was the curse that was heard around the world because that was done right on Fox. Well, they caught this one right on ABC because they went right to the coach and he mouthed. And you don't need to hear me say it. You just know that that's exactly what he yelled. And yeah, exactly. But and then of course, then we scored a touchdown. And then the second team, kind of took care. It was over at the end of the first quarter in terms of from from what had just happened, because we smacked them around after that.
First question: what grade would you give your offense in this first preseason game? Just the offense alone. What grade would you give them?
The starters.
Yeah, if you had just in general.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest, I didn't really watch beyond that. It was like I watched a few plays here and there, but I wasn't at the game.
Yeah, I got you.
So it was one of these things that I'm watching on TV as I'm having other conversations about something other than football. So it was hard for me to kind of keep track and such like that. But the offense kind of looked good. Other than them. I mean, I guess I saw a couple of plays here and there, but they scored 14 points in their first two drives, and then they scored only another 7. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess they didn't do that great, but I know that Hurts looked really good on scripted plays against the defense that's so-so.
Yeah. So what about you, Pork Ryan?
I'd give my office a C. Carson Wentz didn't look bad. The thing that disturbs me is just Antonio Gibson fumbling the ball.
How many times did that occur?
Just once, but I mean, last year he had fumbled 6 times, and 4 of them were in crucial situations where it might have cost us the game.
Yeah.
So that's disturbing. I mean, I get it. Like, it is training camp, get out of your system, but you just can't. I mean, during practice is one thing, but you can't do it during a game, man. Whether it's training camp or not.
I got you.
Actually, if you're doing it in practice, it's likely you're going to do it in a game, and you better fix it there. Yeah. So the fact that he continues to do this, it's actually one of Sneaky G's favorite people that he has Tiki-itis. Tiki was a big fumbler until he figured out how to carry the ball.
Yeah, we're going to revisit Tiki Barber here in a second.
So what was your overall grade for him?
It was a C. I think Carson Wentz did, he did good. I mean, they only played, I think, 3 series, and on the third one is when Antonio Gibson, he fumbled on the second series. I think Brian Robinson, when he came in for Antonio Gibson, he gave him a little bit of a spark. And it's a rookie running back that's, from Alabama. So he's pretty seasoned with the NFL experience, playing for Nick Saban in college. So I'm excited to see what that guy does for us. So
got you.
I saw a report. I want to ask your validity. So it was they said that during a play that one of the linemen was chasing after Carson Wentz, and as he's chasing after him, he's yelling at Carson Wentz to throw it away, throw it away, throw it away. Carson Wentz just runs out of bounds.
I don't even remember that. I don't even remember him running out of bounds.
I'm talking. This is in the practice. This isn't the game.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah, it was something that I heard and picked up from your guys' practice, that he's just not doing the things that he's supposed to be doing. Again, this is where you do things in practice, it equates to the game.
Right,
You
right.
start doing things a certain way. If you're not throwing the ball away, if you're running out of bounds, if you're taking the sack, all that other fun stuff, that's going to be what happens during a game because that's what you've taught yourself. That's the muscle memory. So that's what kind of made me wonder because I'm trying to get more ear to the ground because, I got 1,000 people that I'm bringing down to your stadium for week 3 to say hello to Carson. And I want to make sure that everything I hear is absolutely correct because
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Going to be any secret known on how we feel.
Well, I can promise you this: you won't get near those the gates because now right before end of halftime and then at the end of the game, there's security guards that line up there, so you won't be getting close to those leaning over or anything like that. So.
So they didn't tighten them up. They didn't tighten up the bolts. They just decided to put Ben there.
Yeah.
Got it.
Well,
such a mess. Such a mess that organization is. I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Since well, now that I know that y'all waiting on my report for the Giants, I'll say this. So the first series, we only got the first full series where we got 3 points, where we had the full offensive starters. Now, Jones did stay out there for another series, and you can tell the adjustments that was made. The offensive line looked improved. Barkley, for the few carries he got, he looked like a rookie Barkley. Jones had time to throw the ball. I wish Galladay would have caught it because he would have scored the touchdown to kind of close out the drive. But we got 3 points, and if I had to give a score, I'd say B plus. I wouldn't give him an A because I would like to have seen a touchdown, but the fact that we got points on the opening drive, and I put in consideration the blocking. I mean, the blocking looked great. Even though Neal, you could tell that he was on the ground a couple times. Apparently, I didn't realize this was a thing about him. But overall, offensive line looked good. Jones looked good, and the receiving core, despite the drop from Galladay, looked good. So I'd say B plus. I'm excited. I'm really, really hopeful. So,
and you beat the Patriots. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a preseason game. It's
come on. There were guys dancing in the street saying that you guys are going to the Super Bowl. I know it.
No, we weren't.
There was
We're
somebody out there.
We won a preseason game. Okay,
somebody was out there saying that the Giants are the Super Bowl, baby.
Who?
We'd have made it in 2017.
Yeah.
We made it in 2019.
Send them my
Eagles
way.
Just didn't throw away that one last game.
Send them my way. I'll set them straight. It's a playoff game. That's it.
So the Cowboys, first of all, I'm gonna give them on the offensive side of the ball a C plus. I had Cooper Rush. Of course, none of my starters were in there. A couple of the linemen. Our new first-round draft pick was in there on the guard position. And, I mean, right off the bat, he was just throwing people around. But the overall performance I saw out of Cooper Rush in the first half, I mean, he did play the whole half. I mean, he just wasn't, exceeding my expectations for being with the Cowboys 3+ years in that backup role. The wide receivers, they weren't really getting open, but again, that's a quarterback's job to get them the ball, and he just wasn't doing that. I mean, we only had 175 yards total on passing, which is nothing, and it just didn't. The expectations I had for Cooper Rush were a little bit higher, being that he is our backup and was last year. And then your favorite guy, Philly, came in, Ben DiNucci, second half.
I know. I saw a touchdown.
So is he back with the team? I saw him on the highlights.
And hearing the comment, the commentators from the Dallas Cowboys, the high expectations that they have, or that the coaching staff has for Ben DiNucci, I'm just not seeing it. I don't understand what, if any coaches are seeing it. I mean, he's been in the league 3+ years himself. I mean, we've seen him play in Philly. We've seen him play, it just, to me, it's not there. I'm not going to down the guy. Maybe he has something else to prove with some starters in the position, but I'm just not seeing it. And the overall rushing side, I mean, we had some backup running backs in there. I mean, we almost had as many rushing yards, 140 plus yards in rushing for the whole game. So, I mean, with the backups and everything. But again, I'm going to have to give these guys a C plus.
Got you. Yeah, and they only scored 7 points. They didn't really do enough.
No, and that's my thing is that the ball, you know, the holding of the ball by both QBs that were in there, and let me allude to something else. We've got another backup quarterback, Will Greer, that's actually he didn't play this game due to an injury. I don't know if it's an arm strain or shoulder strain or what it might be. Just something simple. But at this point in week 1, without even playing, he's already been elevated because of the play of the 2 backup quarterbacks.
Will Greer, where did he come from? Was he Penn State,
North Carolina?
Was he Penn State a couple years ago?
Yeah, he could have been.
He came from Carolina, right?
Yeah, I wanted to say that. I want to say I just had his page pulled up because I was looking at it.
So I didn't really, obviously I didn't catch the Dallas Cowboy
West Virginia.
game.
That's West Virginia. Yep.
I didn't catch the Dallas Cowboy game, but I'll say about DiNucci. When I saw that he was in there, that touchdown pass, that was a pretty good ball.
That was a good ball. Again, I'm not going to take anything away from the guys. And it was kind of weird because here where I'm at in Austin, I was able to catch the first half of the game with the Dallas Cowboys personnel calling the game, and then all of a sudden the NFL Network picked it up and my TV screen went away from the local broadcast. So then I had to hear the Broncos commenting on the second half. So I was able to get both sides of what was going on. And I mean, it was night and day. The way the Broncos were calling it, the way the Cowboys were calling it, as you would expect. But from what I was hearing from the Broncos play calling is it just wasn't par for a preseason game. It was just above expectations what they weren't seeing, and I just couldn't understand that.
And this is what the Broncos were way above expectations.
Yes.
They're homers out there. That's the way they call games. They call games like homers. So
I think maybe because they got Russell now, and that's kind of they
but you're not doing it for the third string.
Years,
you're not doing it for the third string.
Yeah,
no. And they're talking about it was a 17-7 game.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like anybody was doing anything crazy.
No, and
that was the case.
And that it was just it was so. I mean, it sounded like they were in week 3 already, the way that they were calling the game.
So real quick, I also want to just reflect on the Giants games real quick. The biggest draw in the quarterback competition with Tyrod Taylor and Jones, that's kind of like the question now. What game will Jones get pulled and Tyrod will start?
Well, let's answer that question. What's your first game?
what our first game?
Yeah.
Well, our first game's against Tennessee.
Where?
At Tennessee.
At Tennessee.
We got I think the first 4, if I'm not mistaken, it's Tennessee, Carolina, Cowboys, and not Chicago. Is it Chicago? I think Chicago the first 4 games. I got to double check.
Well, okay, so your first game against Tennessee, that's going to be a tough game on the road in Tennessee with that AFC side. I in all honesty, if he's not up to game in that first one, I think he might be pulled in right then in the third quarter, fourth quarter if they're losing.
No, they're not. No, he does not.
If the score is up there.
I mean, if he's thrown like 4 picks, I mean, he has to have a horrible game for that to even happen. I don't think so. I mean, wait. Are we talking about being pulled from the game, or he lost his starting job?
No, just being pulled from the game.
Oh, I mean, again, it has to be like a 3 interception plus game.
Yeah, and that's the thing now is reading up and seeing everything that's going on with these backup quarterbacks, these rookies that are coming in. I mean, look at Justin Fields. Look at Lance out there in San Francisco. I mean, they just booted Jimmy Garoppolo to the side. And
you
got to look at it. This is year 5 for Jones.
4.
Year 4.
Yeah, year 4.
So you're looking at a situation with teams now that everybody's in the win mentality, as it should be. And that's why they're just going to probably say no holds barred. Let's go with somebody else, see what we can get done.
And I will say throughout camp, people were saying that, Tyrod was looking good. Jones wasn't doing so well. From what I heard, he was going up and down. Now, I was there over the weekend. I saw 2 camps. I didn't get a real good look at Jones. However, I did get a decent look at Tyrod. And Tyrod throws a really nice ball. I'll give that to him.
Oh,
The only thing that I'll say that I saw Jones and Tyrod and even Webb was when they were with individuals, in their own groups, and with the quarterback groups, and when they were throwing in the nets, the little net with the 3 different areas, and then the drop net, whatever. They both looked good doing what they were doing. Even Webb was hitting it too. I mean, but it's easy to not have a center get the drop back with the ball in your hand and just kind of just throw up like a basketball 3-pointer. So, but when they were doing in team drills, I didn't get a good look at Jones. I'm going to say that. I got a really good look at Tyrod, and he impressed me. Tyrod, I mean, he is what he is. He's definitely a football player. So
yeah,
I'm just
and that's
I'm
the
sorry
thing too. I don't know if you guys even caught the highlights of I mean, I was trying to catch up on highlights and everything else now that I'm with the NFL Plus app to catch all the highlights and everything of all the games. And one thing that, again, just like the kid out of Tennessee, Lance in San Francisco, you get these quarterbacks who get in put situations where they're used to the college mentality that if my receiver's not open, I'm going to run the ball. And these guys are not realizing that this is the NFL, and the guys that they're running against are a lot faster than the guys that were in college.
Right.
So I think that's one thing that these guys need to keep in mind. You might be fast, but you're not as fast as that defensive lineman running after you sometimes.
Yep. RG3 learned that in 2012.
Lance throws a really, really good football.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, it's like on a rope. Granted, I only saw him during warm-ups, in that playoff game that you guys lost last year. I saw him up close and personal.
So let's jump to the defensive side of the ball.
Actually, we might as well take our commercial break then.
Oh, there you go. Perfect timing.
And then we'll do that since it seems like a good segue to do this. So we'll be back right after these commercial messages.
The Hometown Foundation is excited to bring back the Dream Ride experience, August 26th to the 28th at Connecticut's Farmington Polo Club. Join us in celebrating the accomplishments of our Dream Riders while enjoying live music, a car and motorcycle show, family fun zone, pet adoptions, canine demonstrations, the Fireman's Chili Cook-Off, and much, much more. Get your tickets today.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Wait, no, you gotta get me at the random. I'm not prepared.
What a wonderful world. They're really saying I love you.
without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate. All right, I know the Dallas Cowboy fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, from Brooklyn. Hey, get any?
Back, and I put up something here real quick. I put together a little picture. I wanted to express to you, because we never really talk about some of the charity work, and I wanted to bring this up. The Hog Farmers are a small 501c3 charity currently assisting dozens of pediatric cancer families nationwide. Obviously, we have one of them who are part of our panel here. He makes up a group of 7 that have founded this in 2018, and they really do a lot for the community. And as you could see, please go to the website below, hogsfarmercharity.org, to be able to donate and see more of what they've got going on with this great organization.
Thanks.
Yeah, he does a lot of good work, guys. Pork Rind does a lot. And Chris don't do nothing. He just watches Pork Rind the whole time. You can tell Chris I said that too.
Yeah. Don't do that, man. Don't start trouble.
So that segues right into being defensive about it.
Exactly.
So how are we going to score our defenses based upon what you saw this weekend? Let's start with you, Pork Rind.
I mean, it's kind of hard to. It's so vanilla, man. I mean, our defensive lines are strongest, part of our D. I'm a little nervous about our corners a little bit. And I think it's very vanilla. I don't think they showed anything, and I don't think we're going to see anything from them. So it's kind of hard to give an honest answer. They made some stops. The thing that kills me is, even if it is still preseason, these damn referees, man. There was a couple times where it was third down, third and long, and they just throw the flags, and it's
Ticky-tack calls.
Oh my God, man. I'm like,
ticky-tack calls.
And there's a reason behind those ticky-tack calls from what I'm reading and seeing, and that's to get the adjustments made for the coaches on what they'll be looking for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Cowboys game had it the same way, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. We all have been griping at the referees for the past several years.
Yeah.
And this preseason just, it led to a little bit more of, what exactly are you calling?
Yeah.
What's a hold? What's because they're pulling back the roughing the passer. I don't know if you guys been keeping up with that, but they're really not going to be calling that one as much if it's not as obvious, a little shove after the play, but they're going to keep it in there. They're just not going to be pursuing it like they were in the past season.
Yeah, incidental contact to the head is not going to be automatically called. That's exactly one of the things they said. Incidental contact to the head.
Yeah, unless your name is Tom Brady. But, I'll tell you what. For us, we did all right. If I were to grade mine, I would say, we had one corner that he was just getting burnt every play. I'm not going to say his name, but damn. But we did pick up somebody today from Buffalo that was waived, and hopefully it'll be Jackson's number 2, because they rarely throw at Adoree' side, and homeboy was just getting torched. But other than that, I think the rush was there. Williams did, the defensive front did good, but we are lacking depth in DBs.
Yeah.
So we get, God forbid, a corner goes down, and it's going to be a whole different ball game. So we'll see. And I'll say that too, on the offensive side of the ball, I believe we're lacking depth as offensive line too, because that second series that Jones stayed in, it was, you could tell night and day differential between the two, and the same thing with the DBs. So,
yep.
Philly, what you got?
Let Dallas go first.
Oh, okay.
Well, from our side of the ball, of course, the cornerbacks were, 2-5 gave up 2 TDs, both really well thrown balls. But regardless, I'm going to have to give my defense on the defensive side of the ball a B plus right now, as is, with the linebackers and the defensive line. My biggest takeaway was when I went into this game looking at it was defensive tackles. Our interior defensive line has been really bad the past several years, giving up the runs. And this game right here, they showed me from what they played, they were stopping the rush. My secondary was doing somewhat okay. Like, again, my cornerbacks, not so much. But I had, my free and strong safeties weren't giving up the big ones. And of course, there was one big play. But, I mean, other than that, a B plus for my guys. I love seeing the intensity of my defensive line, what they're showing me. And our new additions, Sam Mills came in, and he's a rookie, and he was trying to get to that QB. I mean, he actually got a personal foul for roughing the quarterback, as we were speaking about, for putting his face mask in the numbers outside of the window, outside of the box. So I think we're going to be doing good. We still need some work on our cornerbacks, but with Diggs on one side, I just have to shore up the other side.
And Philly, the reason why I said go ahead and go, you looked ready when I was done talking. That's the reason why.
I am. You guys are in trouble. Our defense is going to be smoking you guys. I tell you, our defensive line is probably what you would guys expect down in Washington. From I don't know how Jordan Davis fell to us, but that guy is going to make Fletcher Cox look like he's ridiculous this year, because they're going to try to put all those resources on blocking him. He was taking on triple teams that literally they went to like a 3-4 type style defense. They have this variant now of like a 3-4, 4-3. And when he was landing up against the center, he was taking on both guards in the center and shedding those blocks. And that means that you guys are in trouble. We just made another trade today, though. We got rid of somebody that we were probably going to cut, JJ Ortega-Whiteside, and wound up a guy who they were going to probably cut, Amadi. What's his first name? Ugo Amadi, who is cornerback. Nothing really crazy, but they're actually expecting him to play safety, because Gannon says that he could use that guy in a safety position. It's not necessary for him to just play cornerback. So, I mean, that's really, if by chance we do, not get to the quarterback one play, we're going to need some guys to cover, and
and that's the big thing.
You guys,
and that's the big thing. Everybody where they stack, they either stack in the secondary or they stack on that defensive line, and then that's where the play calling becomes most important for these teams. And again, we don't have our first team in there, so the play calling that was done was just pretty, as Pork Rind said, vanilla. It was just there. It was just the play calls. It was just to get the motions. And again, with the takeaway that I'm seeing, with not as many reps from the first team, the amount of preseason games that we have, what worries me the most is the injuries that start at the beginning of the season from these guys. That's something that's everybody's going to need to pay attention to, because,
it's already hitting us now.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's hitting us right now.
I mean, our first series, Denver Broncos went down within 40 seconds.
Wow.
The first 40 seconds of the game, he was walked off. He was laying on the field walking off. So, that's something everybody's going to have to pay attention to this season. Not only the first string, but who's going to be taken up for those players who are coming in after the injury, if they get injured. Hopefully not.
I'm trying to find the name of the individual that we just received off waiver wires. Here's another.
And Tuesday being tomorrow, the first round of cuts are coming in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So after that, you're looking at 5 players being cut. It's going from 90 to 85, I believe. So, I mean, right then there's 150 players that could be makeshift that could be moving around the NFL. So,
Well, but I think those first cuts are, they already know who's going. You know what I mean? At least that's what my opinion is that they already know who is going to be cut and that they could probably, they're going to give them one more practice, but.
So what did you see out of your special teams?
Oh, yeah, I'll wait.
I can't speak intelligently about it. I didn't see them.
Well, Tressway is still punting the heck out of a ball. But I'm a little worried about our kick and punt returner. We lost DeAndre Carter to the Chargers, this offseason. And he played a big role in our special teams. And then he was our third receiver at times. So I'm hoping they were just trying out somebody. We'll see. I know Dotson can play a little bit of a punt returner, but who they had back there, I hope he's not back there during regular season.
Yeah, our side of the ball is our field goal unit. We got Brett Maher, and there's competition going on right now for that. So we've got 2 kickers who are competing yet again for the extra points, and it's we had him a couple of years ago. We brought him back. I don't think we should have let him go in the first place with the way that he was kicking the ball, but again, we did let him go. And it's just one of those situations where I don't want to be stuck in for the win, depending on a leg. It's never fun having to be that as a fan, that you're depending on the leg of somebody to get you a 50-yard field goal in who knows what type of conditions, even whether it's indoors. And it's just, as a fan, it's really heartbreaking when you don't get that kick the way you want it.
And as far as the Giants, we got Gano. We're good. All right, we got a new punter. He's a beast. And
is he a beast? Is he a beast like the beast over in Buffalo?
Buffalo, that guy is
82 yards.
Okay,
I said, didn't I say this before? I talked about him. Like, is it possible to want to take a punter in the 3rd or 4th round?
He got drafted,
or maybe earlier because of the way that this guy could change just the whole thing of a field. If you're caught at the end zone and this guy punts the ball and it goes to the other end zone and you start on the 20, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because that's basically defense right there.
Yeah.
How is he punting this ball like that? How is he doing? That amazes me. It amazes me that he is 20 to 30 yards better than every punter that ever lived.
Yeah. I watched that video probably 25 times.
Yes.
and I was still amazed after the 25th time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the only other punter that I know that was any bit like that was Randall Cunningham, who could punt the ball a beast. Like, he could punt the ball like 60 yards. But the 1 one that he got against the Giants literally wound up, or was it the Redskins? I'm not sure who it was that I think that he punted the 92-yard punt. Had wind. There was a lot of wind that helped that go along, and it rolled a little bit. So this guy wasn't that punt returner had to run back 20 yards to just see what was going on.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, it's the kicking game has become one of the most important parts of being a punter. You had Seattle, who spent one of their picks getting the kicker out from here out of UT, and he's shown to proven his worth by spotting the ball inside the 20 when he has the opportunity. So having a kicker like that or punter, I should say, on to get that type of kick, to get that type of play out of him, it was worth it.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And like I said, you find a punter that's going to punt 80-yard punts. Because the harder part about that is that when you're at the 40-yard line, you can't punt it 80 yards, or you could. You might as well just punt it out of the thing and just have them start at the 20. You know what I mean? Does it matter at that point? They're just always starting at the 20. Whether you get a touchback and they start at the 25, or if you punt the ball and it doesn't matter where you're on the field, they're going to start at the 20. Does that matter? I mean, maybe that's the way. Maybe you just have that thought process. You're not trying to pin them down there because they could start at the 20. We already know it.
And again, that's based off what your defense is doing. So if your defense is up to par to be stopping, or if he's able to place that ball with inside the 10, and your defense is playing well enough, it's going to be one of the type of those calls where our defense is sticking it up. So let's try and pin them inside the 10. If not, let's just put them on the 20.
Yeah, an accurate punter, it changes the whole dynamic of a game quick, especially if it's a low-scoring game. Because if you can get that punter to kick that ball at an angle to where it goes out on the 1 yard line out of bounds.
Coffin corner,
yeah.
Really had a good punter like that because they always just punt it to the Eagles and we run it back for touchdowns.
Shut up. That one time, I still can't believe
one.
Even
three.
Even Coughlin was like, "Why did you not? Don't kick it to him." He wasn't on the team next year, probably.
No, he was not. He was not. That was enough.
We got I know we got a little time left. Earlier, you were talking about Tiki Barber.
Mm-hmm. I mentioned from Mr. Fumble. He was Mr. Fumbles until he got it fixed. Then he fixed it.
Right, he fixed it. And those of you that know me, Tiki at one time was not my favorite Giant at all. I did not, didn't even want the name mentioned. That's kind of going extreme, but I mean it's true. I would joke about it. Well, him and I had a very good conversation face to face last Monday to be exact. And now
he will not be coming on our show anytime real soon.
Well, I could ask if you want me to, but
I would love to have him come on. Actually,
yeah. One thing I'll say. Of course, I'm not going to take too much time because you guys know I can go. I could talk for a while. Is the fact that, especially in this day and age, a lot of athletes, and I think we all can agree, they dismiss fans for whatever reason. You catch them on a bad day, or they're having a bad day of practice, or whatever the case may be. New and old. There's some old, athletes out there that wouldn't give
curmudgeons.
Yes. So I stated my case with Tiki, and I told him straight up. I said, "You are not my favorite Giant." And the guy actually, this is what he said to me. Okay.
That's it.
Right. And I explained why. I gave him my 3 things, and he explained himself to me. He took the time, and he didn't have to do that, but he did. And once I got a better understanding of where he was coming from, I was like, okay, cool. The fact that he did that he explained, he legitimately explained himself to me. And I was like, okay, we're good.
That's how it is.
And then I said, damn it, now I got to go on my show and tell people I like you. And I don't like you for that. So, but no, realistically, yeah, we're good now. So.
And all rejoiced in Mudville.
Yes. I'll rejoice. Yes.
So, it's funny. When I think about, players I didn't like, or players who I thought, I never really tried to worry about whether I was going to get, whether they were going to befriend me or not. And, players are kind of funny in general, and it's, especially when your face is painted. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, right. You know what I mean? Listen, it was kind of cool when they said to me, "Man, you killed the draft." Mm-hmm. When I had Dallas Goedert and Maddox both said, "Man, you were all over the draft, man. You killed it." That kind of felt, and I wasn't painted up. So they said that. They're like, "Oh, you're that guy." Yeah, you were. You killed it. It was awesome. So when you hear something like that, that means they were watching, pay attention, do know who I And then, but like what you said, when you have face paint on, it's a lot different story. So you don't get the chance to really, I don't get the chance to magically take it off like this and be like a normal human being to go have a beer with them. And that's kind of what I want. I could care less. Like there's a little bit of shop I want to talk about with the game, but for the most part, I want to hang with them. You know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
what makes you tick in comparison. It's like you obviously have, you know, they're real human beings in the process. So I'm kind of cool with like just talking to them like a normal human being. I wish that there was the magic snap that I could do that would automatically take all my makeup off. I mean,
that would be nice.
It's a pain in the ass. I mean, because like I said, when I come home to shower, I'm home for the night, and most of the times I want to go have a cocktail before I do that. You know what I mean? I don't want to be home for the night yet. I want to, so I'm stuck painted up. So
Hey,
that's why I go to my living room.
I gotta.
Hey,
I gotta
Pork Ryan, what room were you in Canton?
Oh man, I think I was right across the hall from you.
Were you next to the elevator?
I was around the corner from the elevator.
Oh, okay. No, because I was walking out, and it leads to your face paint. When I was walking out, checking out, I hear one of the housekeepers say, "It looks like somebody spilled ink all over the bathtub."
Oh no, it wasn't me. No, that's one thing I make sure I clean up after myself. That wasn't me.
I gotta say this, guys. I know. So we've met our team. We met our players, especially our past players, right? I'll say heroes. Okay. For me, and I gotta ask this with you guys. When you bump into your heroes, when they see you and they recognize you and they know who you are, isn't that rewarding in a way?
I mean, I'm flattered by it. Yeah, I'm flattered by it. I mean, there's Ryan Kerrigan's probably by far one of my favorites as an adult. And I mean, we've done a jersey swap. And I was just joking around. We were vacationing in Outer Banks 2 years ago, and I was watching a Zoom call, and it was Julie Donaldson, and she was interviewing Ryan Kerrigan, and I just made the joke like, "Who's your favorite hog farmer?" And like immediately he knew who, or she asked him like, "All right, what is this about the hog farmer?" And then he immediately said, "Yeah, I did a jersey swap at last year's training camp with Jeff." So, and my buddy was like freaking out over it because he knew exactly who I was, and I thought it was cool, but my buddy was freaking out more than I was. But yeah, I mean, for me,
that is what it is.
Yeah, I'm flattered by it. I mean, if they don't know me, they don't know me. But
right. Me too. I'll just say real quick, when I finally got to meet Carl Banks and Howard Cross, it was just for me, it was the look on their face. And no, it wasn't fear, Philly, before you say that. It wasn't the look of fear, but it was the look of their, it's like, they're like, this guy, to me, I was like, that just kind of, one, I'm already nervous meeting these people for the first time. And two, by just seeing their body language and their, yeah, you're right. It's extremely flattering. And just like, wow, you recognize me, and I ate it. I ate it up. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ate it up.
Nothing the matter with that,
man.
I assume they know who I am because I'm around. You know what I mean? Obviously, when you're at the games, you can't but notice me.
or hear
but
you.
that being said, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing with the other guy who did it too. So, and I mean, is it? I'll be honest. I don't do it for them. I do it for me. I do it
right
because I'm going to do this anyways. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter who they are. So, and that's kind of the thing. They're, when you say that you hear, I don't get tongue tied with them. It's like, yo, what's up, man? Great play. I'm always positive, so it's not like it's hard for me to talk to them in any way. It's like it's always trying to build them up a little bit. Right. So, the difference is that like I'm not drinking in the same places they are. You know what I mean? They ain't
right.
You know, however, when they come to my place, they stay and drink. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's so when the players the players love coming to my living room. You know, I call it my living room. It's Dolan's bar. You know what I mean? So, but this is where it just happens to be where I go drink and watch TV at.
Nothing the
So
matter with that either.
exactly. So, but when anybody comes there, they come. Most of the time, they ain't coming there because it's a little out of the way. I'm sure from practice or after a game or what have you. But like I said, it becomes more of the matter of I want to find out more about them, personally. You know what I mean? That
Right.
football isn't their life,
Right.
and if there was something I'd be able to do to help them in their life more on a professional basis, like I said, being the Philly sports guy is great. If as long as you doing that, like it says, it allows me to have a larger microphone to be able to go out and do those things. I ain't got a lot of money to donate, so I only have time. And really, it's more valuable than the money I could donate anyways, because it seems to me that I can raise a lot more money for charity than most of the time that I can do for myself.
Right.
So it's, I would rather do that, and I'd rather be a part of them in that regard, rather than having conversations. They may or may not know me either way. So,
Well said.
just my opinion.
True. Any cowboy fan? Any great cowboys that you met and that recognize you and
No.
all right then. No.
You know who recognizes me? You know who I get the best out of? Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones loves me. Loves me. We ain't ever
hopefully
met either.
Someday he'll get to know me too. Shit, I live in Dallas. Hopefully get to and Philly. Yeah, I mean you bring up a good point. That for me, and I can't speak for True or Pork Rind. I do this for me. All this stuff you see behind me, this is mine. This is all for me.
Yeah,
this is not
Nothing the matter with that either.
showing the love
it's
for
funny.
my
We were
team
having
and-
a conversation off air, and we could close with this. We were having a conversation off air about like what are we doing in terms of are we chasing attention? Are
Right.
we like trying to go after
Are we
clout?
clout chasing? Are we
When
chasing
we
clout?
do
Yeah.
these types of things, and I say no. You know what I mean? It's like I
No.
love doing this. I love being able to share with people. I love being the fact that I help them enjoy because ultimately I like the fact that I get to do the things that they want to do, and I do it respectful, tastefully, and loud as they want to be, and as kind of as obnoxious as they want to be, along with the fact that I'm just, I'm not a message, and it's good energy, and that's what I feel like that I am best able to share. That's what the in-game experience with the Philly sports guy is all about, because I'm going to do it anyways, whether I'm yelling at the television at a bar
Exactly.
or I'm yelling at the television at my house or at the game. So
that's it.
Yeah, for me, I don't know how to say this, but I guess by me being on social media and on shows, the attention follows me. I guess that's the way to put it. When you put yourself out there, people are either gonna grasp onto it or keep scrolling. And I'm very thankful that more often than not, people grasp onto it. And it was evident when I went to FanFest last week. I mean, guys, if you can't, please, it's on Instagram, TikTok. The love people showed me was overwhelming, and I don't even have the belt is almost full with signatures.
Oh, you gotta do another one.
And if that's clout chasing, you're damn right. I guess I'm chasing some clout, but in reality, no, I'm not. I enjoy the love that people share with me for my football Giants.
That's it. It's fun when you can go around and smile and laugh and
take pictures,
rib each other, and then but at the end of the day, it's a game, and then you make more friends.
Yep.
Right, and that's really what it's all about. And listen, if we all love the same team it wouldn't be any fun because we wouldn't be able to make fun of anybody else.
You're
Yeah,
right about
That's it.
that.
Right.
So I love
tell you what,
the
though.
fact that I just that Sneaky is the Giants guy because I just busted the Giants suck. And I love
I
being able to
just,
tell him that all the time.
I just don't get me started with people putting their mouth, Philly. You do not want me to go there. I'm just saying. You do not.
So
want
listen,
me
we are done with our hour so that I can get it in under the wire.
That was
Everybody have a great week, and we'll see you next week. And as always,
Let's go,
go
Giants.
Birds!
Go the Commanders.